Imagine when the whole world was running towards electric vehicles. A company was quietly preparing such a weapon from its old history which shook the foundation of the entire EV industry. Yes, the CEO of Mazda recently said, "Our new rotary engine will shake the electric vehicle industry." Now the question is, what is there in this rotary engine which can give sleepless nights to big companies like Tesla? Has this war between petrol and battery really come to a new turn now, and will this move of Mazda really change the game of EV forever after all? What kind of technology is used in this engine of Mazda in this video? We will tell you the whole story, which is on the tongue of every automobile expert today. And yes, before moving ahead in the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can be the first to see such great and explosive news. Before we learn about Mazda's new engine, let's learn a little about Mazda. Because this story is not just about an engine, but about a company that earned fame all over the world with its hard work and different thinking. Mazda was started in the year 1920 in Hiroshima, Japan. At that time it was not known as Mazda but by the name Toyo Cork Kyoko Limited. The company's work was to make things made of wood, and then gradually they started making machinery and small motor parts, but they got real recognition in front of the world when they entered the world of vehicles. In 1931, they made their first vehicle, which was actually a three-wheeled truck. It was named Mazda Go. This small vehicle was like a boon for ordinary shopkeepers and small businessmen because it had more space to carry goods and was also cheap to run. At that time, people in Japan were looking for such an option for cheap and strong transport. Mazda gave a new direction to the company. But the real test came when the atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima in 1945. The entire city was destroyed. Thousands of people died and factories were reduced to ashes. At that time, it seemed that perhaps the company would be wiped out. But Mazda did not give up. Slowly, he rebuilt his factory and once again started with motorcycles and three-wheeled trucks. In 1958, he started preparing to make a four-wheeled car. In 1960, Mazda launched its first microcar named R360 in the market. It was a small, cheap, and stylish car, which won the hearts of the people. With this car, the name of Mazda started reaching every household in Japan. After this, Mazda thought of doing something that was beyond the capacity of other companies. He started working on a rotary engine. At that time, this engine was considered a new technology, and it also had many advantages: compact size, more power, and smooth driving. In 1967, Mazda installed a rotary engine for the first time in a car named Cosmos Sport. This gave the company a distinct identity around the world. In the 70s and 80s, Mazda made many great cars. Sports cars like RX-7 created a craze among the youth. Mazda cars were also very popular in America and Europe. Zoom Zoom, i.e. the fun of driving, became Mazda's tagline. However, in the 90s, some problems started arising with the rotary engine. High fuel cost, pollution, and maintenance problems put Mazda in trouble. Meanwhile, other companies also started making more fuel-efficient and cheaper cars. Mazda had to stop the rotary engine. But Mazda did not give up. They focused on improving their technology with a new technology called SkyActiv. They made the engine even more eco-friendly and powerful. Today, Mazda is known for its stylish and fun-to-drive cars. And now, after so many years, Mazda has revived that old dream again. By bringing back the rotary engine with new technology and new thinking, they have shown that Mazda still has the potential to be a game-changer. This is why today, when their new rotary engine was announced, the entire EV industry was shocked. The power of a rotary engine. What is it and why is it special? If you have heard about Mazda's new rotary engine, then you must be wondering, what exactly is this rotary engine, how does it work, and why are people calling it so special? First of all, let us know that the common engines in vehicles are called piston engines. In this, the piston moves up and down inside the cylinder, which generates the power of the vehicle. This technology has been in use for years, and even today it is used in most vehicles. Now, if we talk about the rotary engine, then its name itself tells its specialty. Rotary, that is rotating in a circular manner. There is nothing like a piston in a rotary engine. Instead, a triangle-shaped rotor rotating part keeps rotating inside an oval-shaped chamber. As soon as the mixture of fuel and air goes into it, a spark occurs and rotates the rotor. This rotation gives power to the vehicle. This means that all the complex things that happen up and down in a piston engine are transformed into a simple rotating movement here. Now the question is, what is the benefit of doing this? The biggest advantage of a rotary engine is that it is very small and light. It has very few parts and is more compact. This means that more power is obtained in less space. This is the reason why companies like Mazda prefer it for sports cars and high-performance vehicles. The second big feature is its smoothness. In a piston engine, when the piston moves up and down, there is more vibration. But in a rotary engine, only the rotor rotates, due to which it runs very smooth and quiet. The fun of driving becomes something else. The third thing, power-to-weight ratio. This means that the lighter the engine is and the more power it gives, the more fast and agile the car will become. A rotary engine is light in weight and gives a lot of power. This is the reason why cars like Mazda's RX series were super hit in their time. Now the question arises that why is it considered better than battery and EV? Actually, the battery in EV vehicles weighs a lot and it also takes time to charge. Despite being small, the rotary engine is more powerful, refuels quickly, and can also give good mileage. Mazda claims that they have improved the new rotary engine so much that it has now become more fuel efficient than before and less harmful to the environment. Another interesting thing is that the rotary engine can also be used as a range extender. Meaning if the vehicle is hybrid, has both battery and engine, then the rotary engine keeps charging the battery when the battery runs out. This allows the vehicle to cover more distance and also reduces the tension of charging. Many experts say that if Mazda has really made the rotary engine more durable and eco-friendly, then this can be a big blow to the EV industry, because now people will be able to enjoy a powerful and fun drive by being free from the limitations of the battery. However, it has had some challenges as well. Earlier, the rotary engine used to consume more petrol and also had pollution problems like smog. But Mazda says that they have now almost eliminated these shortcomings. The concept of the rotary engine is definitely old-fashioned. But Mazda has made it so much better with new thinking and technology that now it is ready to compete with EV. And this is the reason why people are again considering it a big game changer in the world of vehicles. History of the old rotary engine from failure to comeback. Mazda's new rotary engine is being discussed all over the world. People are surprised that this is the same rotary engine that Mazda itself had once discontinued. Now, after so many years, why was there a need to bring it back, and what happened before that it was gradually removed from cars in the 90s? First of all, understand that the rotary engine used to be the identity of Mazda. When other companies were making cars with their piston engines, Mazda presented a completely different idea to the world. In the 1960s, Mazda launched a car named Cosmosport in 1967. They used a rotary engine for the first time in this car. At that time, this engine was a completely new and unique concept. Its design was completely different from other engines. Instead of heavy pistons and cylinders, it had a rotating rotor which produced power by rotating in an oval-shaped chamber. This technology had many advantages. The engine was small and light, made less noise, had no vibrations, and gave power like a sports car. People liked this car very much. After this, Mazda launched the RX series, RX-3, RX-7, and later RX-8. These cars had their own fan following. In America and Japan, RX-7 was liked from racing tracks to streets. These cars also gave Mazda the tagline of Zoom Zoom. But as is the case with everything, it also had some disadvantages. The biggest problem with the rotary engine was its high petrol consumption. While other companies started giving more kilometer in 1 liter, Mazda's rotary cars used to consume petrol quickly. Petrol was cheap in those times, so people did not pay much attention. But in the 1970s, when the oil crisis came and petrol became expensive, people started leaning towards cars that gave more mileage. The second big problem was pollution. Rotary engines used to burn more oil and also emitted more smoke. In the 90s, when strict emission norms were implemented in America, Europe, and Japan, the rotary engine could not meet them. Mazda tried to improve it many times, but it could not become as clean and economical as other engines. The third problem was its life. Rotary engines had wear and sealing problems. After a few years, its performance started declining and repairs were expensive. People who bought it for fun started getting upset after a few years. This was the reason why Mazda's sales gradually started falling. In 2012, they used the rotary engine for the last time in RX-8, but it also could not show any special magic. And finally, Mazda discontinued this engine. At that time, many people believed that now the rotary engine has become history forever. But Mazda's thinking was different. Their engineers believed that the features of the rotary engine are so special that it cannot be completely forgotten. It is light, small, and very powerful. If its weaknesses are fixed, it can do wonders even in today's era. With this thought, Mazda kept working quietly. They worked on new materials, new sealing technology, and better fuel injection system. They tried to make it more fuel efficient and eco-friendly. And now, after so many years, they have introduced it in a new avatar. This time Mazda has designed it not just as the main engine but as a range extender. This means that now this engine will work to charge the battery and battery vehicles. That is when the battery starts to run out, the rotary engine will start and charge the battery and the car will keep running. This will increase the range of the vehicle and there will be no tension of charging. Mazda believes that EV vehicles also have their limitations. The battery is heavy. It takes time to charge and the range is less. In such a situation, hybrid vehicles can be made more economical and practical with the help of rotary engine. Not only this, Mazda claims that their rotary engine is now more durable and cleaner than before. It has been improved according to the new regulations. It consumes less petrol, emits less smoke, and is also easier to maintain. So if you think that the rotary engine is a thing of the past, then Mazda has proved that if there is passion in the heart, any technology can come back. The path that Mazda has chosen shows that they had faith in their rotary engine. The same rotary engine which once brought Mazda fame all over the world and then brought it down has now returned as a new hope for Mazda. This is the specialty of Mazda. Never giving up. Keep learning and come back at the right time. Do Tesla and BYD need to be afraid today? Mazda's new rotary engine is being discussed so much that people are asking the question whether this is a warning bell for big EV companies like Tesla and BYD. Can this new move of Mazda really shake their sales and future? First of all, let us tell you that Tesla and BYD are the two biggest players in the EV industry right now. Tesla created a craze for electric vehicles all over the world. With vehicles like Model S, Model 3, Model Y, they showed that EV is not only good for the environment, but can also be excellent in terms of speed, luxury, and style. At the same time, China's BYD has made such a hold in its cheap and mid-range EV segment that today it has overtaken Tesla in the Chinese market. Now the question is, why can they be afraid of this new avatar of Mazda's rotary engine? Actually, there are some problems with EV vehicles which Mazda is taking advantage of. The biggest problem is the range and charging time of EV. The more range you want in battery-powered vehicles, the heavier the battery has to be installed. If the battery is heavy, the weight of the vehicle will increase and its efficiency will decrease. And if the battery is kept small, the range decreases. Apart from this, there is also the hassle of charging. For those traveling long distances, finding a charging station and waiting for hours for charging is a big headache. This is where Mazda's new rotary engine can prove to be a game changer. Mazda has introduced it as a range extender. That is, it will be installed with battery vehicles and will start when the battery runs out and will keep charging the battery. This will enable the vehicle to run longer and people will not need to stop again and again for charging. Apart from this, the rotary engine is very light and compact. This means that the vehicle will not be too heavy. The speed and power will also remain excellent. Mazda claims that their new rotary engine has become so eco-friendly and fuel-efficient that it will completely fix the shortcomings of the old era. Now, if customers see that a vehicle with a hybrid rotary engine is cheaper than an EV, can run for a longer distance without any hassle, and there is no tension of charging, then obviously they can lean in that direction. This can become a cause of concern for Tesla and BYD. Another thing is that the EV infrastructure is not that strong in many countries right now. There are fewer charging points and there is also the problem of expensive raw material in making batteries. If Mazda's rotary hybrid emerges as a cheaper and economical option, then the sales of EV companies may suffer a setback. Tesla and BYD have so far put all their strength on EV. They have set their business model according to battery and charging network. If customers now start moving towards more practical and economical options, then these companies will have to change their strategy. However, it is also true that Tesla and BYD still have a huge advantage. Their brand name, technology, and hold on the EV market are so strong that it will take time for Mazda to compete with them. And Mazda's vehicles will still be available only in certain segments. But it is certain that Mazda's new rotary engine has started a new debate in the auto industry. People have now started wondering whether EV is the future or hybrid technology can also be a strong option. So, in simple words, do Tesla and BYD need to be afraid or not? The answer is both yes and no. If Mazda really lives up to its claims, then EV companies will have to work harder to save their position. And if Mazda's engine also gets stuck in the same old problems, then Tesla and BYD will not be affected much. For now, it is certain that Mazda has forced them to improve their game. And that's the best thing about the automobile industry. When there is competition, it's the customers who benefit. It will be interesting to see in the coming years how much the return of Mazda's rotary engine can shake up the EV market. For now, Tesla and BYD will have to be cautious because Mazda has once again shown that it still has the power to change the game. Its impact on the global market. The announcement of Mazda's new rotary engine has created a stir all over the world. People are now forced to think whether this engine can really change the face of the global car market in the coming times. The craze of EV, electric vehicles, is at its peak all over the world. Companies like Tesla, BYD, NIO are rapidly capturing the EV market. Governments in big markets like Europe, America, and China are also running schemes to promote EV. But now this new move of Mazda has started a new debate whether EV is the last resort or there can be some other better option. First of all, let's talk about Europe. In Europe, people always run after more mileage, less pollution, and economical vehicles. Various types of taxes have already been imposed on diesel and petrol vehicles there. Subsidy is given to promote EV. But the biggest problem there is the charging infrastructure. There are no charging stations everywhere. And if you have to travel a long distance, then there is a problem. In such a situation, Mazda's rotary engine, which will be installed in hybrid vehicles and keep charging the battery and increase the range, can become a big attraction for European customers. Now, talking about America, people there like powerful and reliable vehicles. The trend of EV has definitely increased rapidly there. But there too people have started asking questions. What is the life of the battery? What will be the cost of repair? And how much time will it take to charge in America? People still consider petrol or hybrid vehicles more practical for long highways and trips. In such a situation, Mazda's new rotary engine can meet the needs there. It can become a great option for the middle-class people there. Talking about China, there has been tremendous growth of EV there. Companies like BYD and NIO have captured the Chinese market, but there are still less charging points outside many cities of China. And people always want a vehicle that gives more range. If Mazda launches its rotary engine at the right price and in the right packaging, then there can be a lot of demand for it there too. Especially the youth there who want stylish and fun-to vehicles. Its impact will not be less in India and other Asian countries. People here always want affordable and low-maintenance vehicles. EV has not yet fully taken off here because charging points are very few. In such a situation, Mazda's hybrid rotary engine can attract customers' attention here too. This is also a new challenge for auto companies at the global level. Companies like Tesla, BYD have put all their focus on EV. They have set up their factories, supply chain, and entire business according to EV. If people start leaning back towards hybrid technology, then they will have to change their strategy. This will increase competition in the car industry even more. Companies will try to bring better, cheaper, and durable vehicles. Customers will get direct benefit from this. Another important thing is that this step of Mazda will also force governments to think. Till date, governments were focusing on subsidy and infrastructure for EV. But if hybrid vehicles start becoming more popular, they will also have to change their policies. Mazda's rotary engine can bring a new turn in the global market. It can not only change the thinking of customers, but other companies will also have to think afresh. It is difficult to say right now whether it will completely defeat EV or not, but it is certain that the competition in the global market will now become more interesting, and the biggest benefit of this will be for us and you. Truth of environment and fuel efficiency. The biggest debate about Mazda's new rotary engine is whether it can be as good for the environment as EV even though it runs on petrol. And does it really have the power to give more mileage and less pollution than before? First of all, let us tell you that the old rotary engine was very popular in its time. But its biggest weakness was that it consumed a lot of petrol and emitted a lot of smoke. Therefore, when new emission rules were implemented in Europe and America in the 90s, this engine could not meet them and Mazda had to discontinue it. But now, Mazda claims that they have completely changed it. In the new engine, they have improved the sealing technology, fuel injection, and compression in such a way that now it has become much more fuel efficient than before. That is, it will be able to run more kilometers in less petrol. While the old rotary engine gave 7 to 8 kilometers per liter, Mazda says that the new engine can go up to 14 to 15 kilometers per liter. Not only this, Mazda also says that now the carbon dioxide emission in it has reduced by 30 to 40%. That means it will not harm the air as much as before. However, compared to EV, it is still not completely zero pollution because EV gets power directly from the battery. But one thing to note is that the environment is harmed in making EV and recycling its battery. In such a situation, Mazda's argument is that our new rotary engine has been made with the idea of causing minimum harm. So, if we talk about clean figures, EV is still slightly ahead. But the rotary engine is no longer as bad as it was before. And if you are one of those who don't want the hassle of charging the battery and trust petrol, then this engine can be a good option for you. Price and maintenance. Customers happy or unhappy? Now let's come to price and maintenance. Will these vehicles be cheaper or more expensive than EVs, and will they be easy to drive and maintain, or will they cost more? According to the indications given by Mazda so far, vehicles with rotary engines will be cheaper than EVs. There are two reasons for this. First, a very large battery has to be installed in an EV, which is quite expensive. Second, companies also add the cost of the charging infrastructure of EVs to their prices. Rotary engines are small, light, and cheap to manufacture. Therefore, Mazda's vehicles can be 15 to 20% cheaper than EVs. This is good news for customers. It will be lighter on the pocket than EV and will be more affordable. Now, talking about maintenance, rotary engines were notorious earlier. Seals would wear out quickly, power would drop, and engine repairs would be expensive. But Mazda claims that they have solved all these problems in the new engine. With new sealing and better oiling, the engine will now last longer and will not need frequent repairs. An electric vehicle anyway has less maintenance than a petrol car because it does not have an engine. But if the battery of an EV has to be replaced after 7 to 8 years, it becomes very expensive. The maintenance cost of a rotary engine may be slightly higher than an EV, but it does not incur a huge cost like replacing the battery. If we look at it, customers will be happy in terms of price because these vehicles will be cheaper. And maintenance has also been made easier and cheaper than before. Mazda's new rotary engine is no longer the same as before. It has now become cleaner, more economical, and more reliable. The price will also be less than that of an EV and maintenance will also be easier. Yes, it is not as pollution-free as an EV, but EV has its own shortcomings. So, for those who want more range, don't want the hassle of charging the battery, and don't want a lot of burden on their pocket, Mazda's new rotary engine can prove to be a good option. And this is the reason why Mazda hopes that customers will not be disappointed this time. If you like the video, then quickly subscribe to the channel so that you can get such interesting and useful information first. Thank you.